Yeah, and then there was season 3 was 2001, 2002.
This show
And
started
then
in '99.
yeah.
Wow, I did not
Yeah.
know that.
It was one of the original cartoons, I'm
Was
pretty
it?
sure. Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, it was like, on the classic lineup with like Dexter's Laboratory and Powerpuff Girls and all that.
I don't
Um,
remember that at all.
really?
No,
That
not
was
at
like the
all.
best that was like the best time for
I
cartoons.
remember Dexter's Lab. I mean, I didn't have cable really
Oh,
until I was
okay.
like 12 or 13, but I would go to my aunt's house specifically to watch Cartoon Networks. I mean, not that like as a 10-year-old I would, get on the bus or like drive over to my aunt's house in Staten Island and then like I would just
Yeah.
say, "Hey, can I watch your TV
Yeah.
for like 12 hours?" No, like whenever we went over, that's just what I would do. I would intend like I mean, and the adults didn't care because they were just gonna hang out anyway.
Yeah.
So like the idiot box kept the kids nice and stupid. So like let's watch it.
Yeah.
But I don't remember seeing Ed, Edd and Eddie at all. I loved Dexter's Lab and I loved everything about it. By my old
Yeah.
neighborhood, I don't know if I ever showed it to you. I don't think we did because I don't think we ever checked out the. I don't think we checked out the local mom and pop shop,
No.
but it was this magical little store, the stand. I believe it's still there somehow, um, but about a block and a half away from it,
Mhm.
there's like a graffiti mural thing on the side of a thing,
Yeah.
and it's of Dexter's Lab that like somebody
Oh, that's
did.
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. But I may have a picture of it on one of my old phones. I'd have to show it to you.
That's pretty badass. Yeah, I thought it was like the golden age of cartoons on both Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. Like
Yeah.
that was like when the best shows were coming out. It was like late '90s, early 2000s. And even like kids WB, Saturday morning, you had like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, like all the good ones.
You couldn't beat it.
Um,
Honestly,
Batman Beyond, like yeah, it was
Saturday and Sunday, I mean, just like every day of the week at like 4 o'clock, it was just like, okay, this is cartoon time.
yeah,
From like 4 to 6, it
yeah.
was
It
like
was
go home, try to do your homework by like as soon as you get home,
yep,
watch like be ready by 4 because then if you're not done with your homework you're not going to finish your homework,
yeah,
uh, and you just watch cartoons and you would switch between, well, I mean, I guess you, since you had the luxury of Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, you would
yeah,
switch between the two, and then maybe you'd pop over to like Kids WB for Batman,
yeah.
and then Fox for like Beetleborgs or Power Rangers or something, and then you just flip back to the others. But oh my god, what a time to be a kid.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you think about like, years ago when you wanted to watch cartoons, you had to like go to like the movie theater, it was like, and they would play before your movie. You would go see Looney Tunes or something. And it's like, we grew up in a time where literally you could just watch a channel that had nothing but cartoons 24/7,
Yeah, and those old
you know?
cartoons were specifically made for adults in mind, so that's why they're
Yeah.
a little bit more perverse in some ways.
Well, even
But even
our
for like,
cartoons
well, no,
were
even our cartoons, there were
adult.
like were themed. They had like they were themed for children, but they had plenty of adult jokes in there that they'd like
Yeah.
manage to slip past the censors. Where like watching it now,
Yeah.
it's like, how did they get away with this? And then of course you find out, if you ever watch the interviews or anything with some of the creators, they got those jokes in by trying to like by trying to get worse jokes past them
Yes.
so that
Yeah.
like the censors wouldn't notice them. But oftentimes they would they would get rid of the jokes that they wanted and they would approve the worst jokes.
Yeah.
Like I think one of the famous ones is there's this Animaniacs there's this old Animaniacs one
Hmm.
where where like they're on a ship. I think they're either on a ship or they're on like or they're in a building or something. I'm pretty sure they're in a ship,
Yeah.
and and um and like how like Dot is like boy crazy. And
Yeah.
of all people, who pops out of this like who pops out of like a ship vessel. I think they toot the horn and like somebody comes out of the gully or whatever, and of all people, it's Prince,
Oh,
and Dot
I
catches
think I
him,
remember this episode.
and Dot catches him, and she's like, "Oh my God, it's Prince! He's so cute," or whatever. And then like somebody says something about like, "Should we check him for fingerprints?" And then Dot's like, "Why would anybody want to do that?" And like the joke is fingerprints.
Oh yeah,
And it was
yeah.
like, and it was so obvious that like even as a kid you were like I didn't understand what she meant or like what the
Yeah,
joke was, but I was like, there was something like this was placed here for a reason. She did there was something funny,
yeah,
but I don't understand what happened. And now as an adult, it's like, how the hell did they do that?
yeah.
How did that get past the children's show? But that was like a big that
It was a lot.
but they were
I mean,
oh no, like Rocco's Modern Life was all over that
oh my
stuff, and
God,
like
Rocko's Modern Life literally had a joke where like he's a sex phone operator.
yeah.
Like it's like
And he like just sits on the phone, right?
yeah, and he's like, oh baby" on the
Yeah.
phone, and like there's a sign that says like "think sexy" or something like that,
Oh
or
my
like
god. This
yeah.
or like
I mean,
Choki's chicken, like come on.
yeah, yeah.
Or or like what was another good one? Um like I mean there were plenty in like the first 3 SpongeBob episodes too, where it like
Oh
alluded
yeah,
to SpongeBob and Patrick being an item, and there were just so many innuendos and just so many
yeah.
things. But I mean, a lot of that just comes from like directly from Ren and Stimpy, which like
Oh my God.
John K is a maniac. But I mean, if you and like he's things have come out about him in recent years where he wasn't exactly like the best person to be around, and he
Yeah,
he was a loose cannon. We'll say that. If you want to find out a little bit more about John Kay, then do your homework.
yeah,
I'm not here to trash anybody unless unless they are extremely perverse. I think John Kay really just had a series of mental issues, and this is kind of what happened. But I'm not excusing his behavior. This is just something where we don't have enough time to talk about that stuff. Maybe we'll do a Ren and Stimpy episode down the line, but Ren and Stimpy just never stopped pushing that envelope.
yeah, yeah.
Ever.
That Ren and Stimpy was I think the worst of all of them.
Yeah.
In terms of adult jokes. I
Well,
mean,
because
Ed
it
Eddie
didn't
has
hide anything. Ren and
yeah,
Stimpy didn't hide anything. It was like, this is the show. And for whatever reason, people approved of this for like children.
yeah.
I guess because it had cute characters.
I
And
guess. I
I don't
mean,
know. I mean, I have no idea.
Angry Beavers had some raunchier jokes too, if I
Yeah, they
remember
did have a
correctly.
couple. I can't remember them explicitly, but they did have a couple.
Yeah. Um, Ed, Ed and Eddie had a number of adult jokes too.